M15. Flexible, connected, and shared. Sydney, Australia. Ed Stanistreet. Vice President, Mobility Services, Toyota Financial Services. Flexible, connected and shared, the OEM, FMO Challenge. Ed Stanistreet presents flexible FMOs. Where can fleet and leasing providers be more flexible, and where are the hands tied?
Good afternoon, everyone, and it's nice to spend a bit of time with you. Talking about time in the industry, 25 years, 3 FMOs, 1 international group, and 2 captives. The last 13 as GM of Toyota Fleet Management. But my boss convinced me that mobility was the future, and I took on the role of Vice President Mobility Services in April this year. And I did that because I think this is just a fantastic area to be looking in, and the finance company that I work in and the motor company are working far more closely together to achieve the significant challenges that we're going to have to work on for the future in this mobility space. So whilst this is an industry forum today, I did really want to talk to you about the Toyota initiatives more as a bit of a case study, I think, to tell you what we're thinking and where we're trying to go, and I hope that's relevant to you in the context of today's discussion on the topic of flexible, connected and shared. My role is a brand new role, and I am one of 4 direct reports to the head, so it's become one of the four key pillars of the business. So if I talk about 2 pillars, we have transforming our existing business, which is our traditional business, and the second pillar is expanding the value chain, which is the mobility services side of the business. So they are reflecting that this is an important initiative, and if you look at the dollars spent by Toyota and Toyota Financial Services in the investment in this space, you'll reflect on a lot of the current profits are being reinvested into the future of mobility. But I'll get to that a little bit later on. Can I give you a quote from Akio Toyoda? "I'm determined to transform Toyota from a car-making company into a mobility company. This means that Toyota will provide all kinds of services related to transportation to people around the world. At the beginning of 2018, we presented the e-Pallet concept vehicle in Las Vegas and the GR Gazoo Racing Sports Super concept in Toyota. In character, these models are as different as they could be. The former is designed to provide mobility services and the latter to be fun to drive. Both, however, are examples of next-generation mobility, featuring such cutting-edge technologies as electrification, automated driver and connectivity." So he has given us the challenge to follow in that. So the automotive industry is seeing significant convergence in technologies and social trends. Usership via car sharing and ride sharing is growing at a rapid pace, albeit in Australia from a pretty low base. Less than 0.5% of new vehicle population goes into that space at the moment. And at the current growth of rate, the roles of OEMs, suppliers, dealers, captive financiers, and FMOs will be redefined in this emerging space. And it's not just about volume, it's about the speed of change that's coming at us at this point in time. And research tells us that that's $1 trillion will be generated from mobility services by 2030, with growing on-demand transportation services and an increasing role for government in development of MAS. And I'm pleased to say that we have a representative from New South Wales Government here today, and New South Wales Transport, I'd have to say, are doing a really good job and trying to become a smart city. We've all got a long way to go, but I think the efforts that are being made are demonstrative of what's required of cities as well as the providers of services around those cities. And the customer's demand is changing. So as they move from ownership to usership, both the OEM and the financiers are going to need to become service providers, because we won't be selling as many vehicles as we used to. We won't be making any money if we don't do other things and provide a whole-of-life service and become operators rather than providers of services in the usage space. Significant challenge, because we haven't done that well to date, except in perhaps the fleet management space to some extent. And this, in the retail sector, the financier has used their dealer network to distribute their product in the past. So the manufacturer relies on them and the financier. So we don't have any traditional touch points with our customers, or very few, other than at the start and end of the contract. That is going to significantly change over time, and the vehicle that's going to drive that is that our relationship with our customer is going to have to become a direct one and a digital and online capability, particularly as we get into this usership space and the regular service provisions that are being provided to customers on a daily basis, rather than start a contract, end a contract, 3 years, completely new dynamic. So how do we do this? Well, we need to understand the customer, which is going to take data collection and analytics in a big way. Second point is communicating with the customers. We have now multiple touch points that we're going to have to spend with the customer. And thirdly, delivering our brand promise in a different way, because as an operator, we're a different provider than we were as a seller of a product at a single point in time. And so our capability will be spent around customers, individuals, corporate and government. We need to attract them in a different way and spend time with them in a different way. As I said, online, we will continue to run a dealer model. They are an integral part of what we are building for the future, but the dealership will become more of a service centre than they are a seller and provider of a specific transaction. And we will work with other partners. So the investment by Toyota in WIM, which is the mobility as a service provider, is an example of that, and other joint ventures. And the capability to build a global house is obviously, we need to have a brand that covers the range of services that we provide and the products, but the direct to customer contact in the mobile app and mobility services capability, and also the car experience, so connectivity with the car, connected to user, connected to vehicle, is our big challenge over the next couple of years. And this is just an example of the structure that we're trying to put in place in each region and across the world. Mobility services for us starts with fleet management capability, and you'll see our traditional product in Group 1, including subscription, being medium to long-term full service leasing, and you'll recognise a number of brands in that space that are already in existence. But the second category we're building is in the sharing services capability, and you'll probably have seen press that there have been billions of dollars invested in these ride-sharing organisations that are leaders in their marketplace in different parts of the world. These are existing businesses. Get Around Peer-to-Peer is the US-based business that just reinvested in a UK peer-to-peer business. And then we will start moving into car sharing and subscription and rental capability. And you'll see some trials under the brand of OYO that I'll talk to in a minute, being trialled over the next couple of months. And the third category is trying to bring those services together in a mobility as a service capability. And if you haven't heard of the company WIM, then Toyota Financial Services Europe invested in about 2 years ago. They won an award from the New South Wales government for participation in a contest last year, and they will commence operations next year in trying to bring some of these services together in the efficient delivery of trips from point to point via a multiplicity of transport solutions, being public transport and other solutions as well. There's a lot to do there. The rate of change is likely to be very different in different regions of the world, but I think because Australia has a strong fleet management presence, we actually have a platform that will enable us to move into this marketplace probably more quickly than most other parts of the Toyota world. So we're excited about this. We're also a bit daunted by the opportunity and the prospect as well, because it is a big challenge, but I'm sure we'll make plenty of mistakes on the way, but we'll have plenty of learnings for the rest of the world as well. Thanks, Shane. So in Australia, so as I said, I do see the financier and the fleet manager and the distributor and manufacturer and dealer forming an even closer alliance in the delivery of these solutions in the time to come, and building a connected and shared environment. And just introducing AYO, that you'll see we've got a subscription trial started in Adelaide yesterday. We have a car sharing trial in Melbourne commencing in 2 weeks' time, and then we have a rental program commencing nationally in September under this brand. It's all in trial, so you may not see AYO last forever, but AYO is Toyota without the T and the tar at the front and the back, but so we're heavily disguised, but we thought it was quite a good brand nevertheless. And next page, and just talking about our domain layers, and what I was talking about was, here we are with a manufacturer trying to sell cars, and predominantly that's all they do. We've got that capability under control. We are a financier and fleet manager of some scale that we've got under control and doing well, but it doesn't suit us for the future. We have to actually build ourselves up as an operator and optimizer, and we will build these capabilities into our portfolio so that they can be provided to both retail and fleet customers. And then some of the technologies, in addition to the telematics and the pool vehicle management capability, they're available to us that we will bring to market to try and bring these solutions to an integrated capability over a period of time. So that's basically our brief story. It was really just about giving you an idea of where we think we're going. Thank you.